fair to say that killing zombies in traditional video games is a somewhat played out and tired concept, but in VR we're still scratching the surface of different genres and seeing how this new medium can evolve them to greater heights. Games like Killing Floor Incursion and, to a lesser extent, Arizona Sunshine showed us that the zombie genre still has a lot of life left in it. But this week's release of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on PlayStation VR set a new high watermark and introduced PSVR owners to the best zombie game on the platform, and possibly my new favorite survival game of all time. Saints and Sinners sets up the apocalyptic situation in good form, and within minutes you'll be out on your own, with only the basics to help you survive. You'll start off with the bare minimum, using bottles picked up off the ground or kitchen knives to defend yourself from the undead. But anything found in the world isn't exactly what you'd call durable, and most items will break after just a few uses. And thus begins the ultra-satisfying gameplay loop of heading out every morning, hitting up different neighborhoods, searching the streets and raiding houses to salvage as many items that'll fit in your backpack, then bringing it all back to your camp at night to scrap them for essentials and upgrade your 3 crafting stations, which will eventually allow you to make more durable weapons, survival gear, and health items. But you can only make 1 run per day, and every time you go to bed, another day begins, which triggers more zombies to appear in the world and resources to diminish. In other words, day 20 is going to be much tougher than day 5, so getting through the story quickly is somewhat beneficial. But the choice is yours. If you feel like ignoring the story for days and focusing on scavenging and upgrading your workbenches, you can do that too. And by the end you'll feel like a badass with significantly improved health and stamina meters, along with weapons that are sure to keep the dead at a distance. No matter how much I upgraded though, I never felt completely safe in Saints and Sinners. As a game that only supports 2 move controllers, to save ammo and to attract less attention, you'll be using both of your hands to fend off the undead when they get too close, jam shivs into their brains, or whack them with bigger, 2-handed weapons. This is fine when there's just 1 or 2 of them stumbling around, but when the tower bells ring at the end of the day and walkers swarm the streets, it's time to get out of there, and get out fast. Your stamina meter can only handle so much physical exertion until all of your movements are stilted and delayed, and then you're basically zombie food. That's not to say Saints and Sinners is all that scary though, because while the dark, tense atmosphere is exactly what you'd want in a game like this, it seldom relies on jump scares or traditional horror tropes to keep you engaged.
You testing me?
Maybe. If you're straight with me, our conversation continues. And believe me, I'm someone you want on your side. I know things. Things you're not going to get from any other source. I need to know, though, that you're above board. We both want answers, but mine come first. Okay?
But Saints and Sinners is not without its faults. The story here tries desperately to rope you in and convince you to care about certain characters through long radio transmissions or voiced mission briefings. But they tend to go on way too long, and I often found myself zoning out while they were talking, not really caring one way or the other who lived and who died. Luckily, that one aspect was in no way detrimental to my enjoyment of the game, because everything else was done so perfectly that it's an easy issue to overlook. Each environment is about as detailed as you could expect on the aging PS4 hardware, with a nice art direction that straddles the line between realistic and artistic, along with some really effective fog that makes the whole town look a bit like Silent Hill. The audio design deserves a mention too, with great atmospheric music that ranges from spooky to intense, and audio cues that let you know when you've been spotted. But the highlight for me were really the controls. Everything always felt exactly like it should. Grabbing your notepad off your chest to check mission objectives or find the best escape route felt seamless and has never been implemented in any other game this well. The same goes for your inventory, which is as simple as reaching over your shoulder to grab your backpack. And of course I'll bring up melee combat one more time, just as an excuse to show another walker go down. The past few years have been an incredible jumping off point for virtual reality, with a lot of breathtaking examples of what the hardware can do. But there simply hasn't been many full-featured, full-length games like we're used to seeing on the flat screen. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners changes all of that with one of the most immersive VR games yet, but also one that should last you around 15 hours your first time through. When it's all over, you can keep playing for as long as you want, attempting to survive as resources dwindle day after day. You don't have to be a fan of the show, the comics, horror games, or even zombies to enjoy this one. And even with a few minor flaws, it's about as perfect of a game as I've ever played.